Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Simply Nerdy. I'm your host, Steven, and I'm joined today by Anthony.
Hey, awesome people.
You awesome nerds, you. Hey, so be easy on me today. I have a cold, and my voice sounds a little weird, that's why. But we just wanted to go over the 2019 games that were released this year, kind of talk about our thoughts of how the year went for Nintendo, and talk about some 2020 predictions. Anthony, what was one of your favorite 2019 games to play? I think I know what your answer is, but I want to hear it from you.
I will say, first of all, overall impressions, I felt like this was a very good year for the Switch. I felt like there was a lot of really strong showings. The only thing that I would say I have against this year is that I have so little time to get to all the games I want to play, so that's not technically a bad thing.
I still have about 3 games I gotta beat.
3. Steven. Oh, multiply that by... actually raise it to a few powers, and then you've...
Yeah, God, what you need
I
to do.
feel like that's where I'm at least. I'm basically having to triage my gaming interests right now. There are a lot of games out there that I'm really interested in playing that I'm beginning to wonder if I will ever get to in my life. So that's exciting. So here's my standout games, the ones that I've enjoyed the most for 2019. I think probably one of the first big ones, thinking through the year chronologically, is probably Super Mario Maker 2. I don't actually own that one yet. I need to repent of that sometime soon. No, I don't. Again, remember, this backlog is terrible. But I always love seeing all the cool content that people make, on their, with their levels. I have in my YouTube feed a lot of videos that kind of get suggested for really clever levels, and it's just really fun. So it looks like they've done a lot of cool things there, and I'm particularly interested with the latest editions of the Master Sword power-up. I do have to admit that I hate that you can lose it by getting hit. I understand that that's how most Mario power-ups work out, but I mean, if you want to say that you're adding Link as a character and you want to be able to make levels that are designed for Link, then you've got to make it so that people can afford to get through the level and get hit a few times and still be able to complete the level, anyway. So the next big one for me that I've played and beaten and loved to death was Astral Chain. That one was kind of, for me at least, the sleeper hit of the year. I feel like there's a lot of mixed feelings on it, from a number of people. I just absolutely loved that game. I felt like the action was perfectly tuned. There were some things that I would change, sure. I felt like the way that they did the skill system and things like that were kind of a little bit too limited to be consistently useful, but all in all, it was a wonderful game, and I'm just I really loved how well that one turned out. So okay, as I'm going through the list of games that came out this year that I really liked, I'm starting to realize that that's about all that I've gotten through.
For real?
Yeah. So right now I'm working on Luigi's Mansion 3, loving it. That game is super addicting. And there's just something really cathartic and rewarding about, vacuuming up every single thing and finding cool treasures. I don't know. Even if you don't actually use the money for much in this game. Like, I understand a lot of people's complaints on that regard, but it doesn't actually really bother me that much because the reward is finding it itself. They designed it so well that I just love it for that. Another one that I'm really excited for, because I keep hearing really good things about, but I haven't gotten the chance to touch yet, which is a gargantuan one itself, is Fire Emblem Three Houses. Don't have anything to say there, but I'm excited to try it. And then I think the last big one, this one was kind of a huge surprise to me, was Pokemon Sword and Shield. I ended up buying it even though I'm not a Pokemon fan, just because I felt like this is the first one that seems like it contains thoughtful evolutions of the usual elements in a Pokemon game that would appeal to me. I bought that one if for nothing else because I just wanted to support the Pokemon company trying to push the series forward in cool ways, and that I'd be interested to try it eventually. And the fun thing is too, my wife, who used to be a really big Pokemon fan, totally got sucked in. So
awesome.
Yeah. So that made that purchase worth it too. But yeah, so ton of excellent games this year, and there's more on the list that I haven't gotten to or covered. But I think those are the standouts for me, and I thought it was a really good year, and I'm still working on getting through them. What about you, Steve?
Dude, That was way too many highlights for me too. I'll say ditto to what he already said. Super Mario Maker 2 is just outstanding platformer, and Astral Chain was just amazing action, great story. It was just a solid entry on the Switch, and if you haven't played that at all, definitely give it a chance.
Although I should say, you guys shouldn't listen to this guy until he beats the game, Steve.
I have not beaten it yet.
So get on it.
I have not. I'm getting on. I have school slammed me this semester, man, but I am hoping to get on that wagon and beat all these games that I have in my backlog. And another one that was a big highlight for me that I also have not beaten yet is Zelda Link's Awakening. Solid game this year.
I forgot. I can't believe I forgot to mention that one. I did beat that one, guys. That one's a great game.
You did?
I did.
There you go. Yep. I am also loving Luigi's Mansion 3. Also, I've not beaten it yet. Super good. I'm probably super close to beating it. Dude, there's so much to love about this game. I love the multiplayers. The modes are great. Some of them are kind of throwaways, but most of it's definitely a keeper. They're adding more. They got DLC now, so I haven't got that yet. But I'm needing to get that. They've added some more modes and some more content.
Very
so
cool.
I'll be doing that as soon as possible. But I have been playing a lot of Pokemon Shield as well. As you know on this channel, Anthony and I are not typically Pokemon fans to the degree of the core games. I enjoyed Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu a lot, but I picked this one up despite all the controversy surrounding this game, which I had my issues with it as well. That number one issue being of all my favorite Pokemon being taken out, as Hayden has pointed out several times on the channel. But I've actually found some enjoyment in this, and I do raids almost every day with a few friends at work. We bring our Switches and do raids all the time.
That's awesome.
And we're having a good time with it. I think those are my highlights. Although I will throw in a caveat to Cadence of Hyrule, which also came out this year.
That's right.
Which was also fantastic. I love the music. The soundtrack in that game's amazing. I wish I could purchase it. If you know if I can purchase it, let me know in the comments. 'Cause I want that soundtrack. It's amazing. It's really cool. I don't know. There's just so much to love about what happened this year.
Yeah.
So let's just we'll move on now. 2019, we can probably agree, Anthony. It was pretty solid.
Absolutely.
Right? Pretty solid year for the Switch. 2020, Anth. Is it going to be solid or is it going to be flimsy? Let's take a look. So for 2020, Anth, we know for sure that these games are coming in 2020, and I'll just name them off real quick. We got Tokyo Mirage Sessions Encore. We've got Animal Crossing New Horizons, Trials of Mana, Minecraft Dungeons, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, and Bravely Default 2. What are your thoughts, Anth? What about that lineup there?
So I'm actually really, really optimistic. I will say, first of all, the headliner for me is absolutely Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. I've been wanting this game to get ported to the Switch for a long time, and I thought I was just that's all I could ask for. So when that Nintendo Direct ended with that trailer, the moment I heard the first 2-3 notes of the main theme, it was like an uncontrollable scream issued from my mouth. So I'm a huge fanboy here. Xenoblade Chronicles is, in my opinion, the greatest JRPG ever made. Needless to say, the idea that it's not only getting brought to the Switch, but as a remaster at the very least, with added content. The trailer, if you missed it, showed some previously cut content. The area on the Bionis' left shoulder, that's content that just got cut from the original game that evidently is getting added back in. So, definitive edition indeed, and it's looking so much better.
It looks way better.
And then as for the rest, there's some solid stuff in there. I'm really excited for Trials of Mana. I've been curious about that game for a really long time. Obviously, we've never gotten the chance to really play it, and it's looking solid. It looks really quite pretty. Bravely Default 2, huge deal. They haven't showed us much, but I was really into the first game. It looks gorgeous, and I loved the original, so I'm excited for that one. I'm surprised to also note that I am actually a little bit interested in Animal Crossing.
Woot, 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 woot.
The jury is still out, because I generally like my games to be plot-driven. and so that's something that Animal Crossing has always had against it. But this looks like it's got some very fine spit polish on it, and so I'm intrigued. And Steven is a huge fan. You probably saw his video, or if you haven't, go look at his video about why he's excited for it. But big deal, right?
Yes, very big deal, and that's what I'm looking forward to the most, I have to say. All right, so those look like a pretty solid lineup coming up. But now we're going to go into our 2020 predictions, Anth. Now, I have 3 bold ones here. My first prediction is that we are going to get the Metroid Prime Trilogy HD coming to the Switch in the spring of 2020.
Spring, you think, huh?
Yeah.
I'd love that. I feel like as far as it actually happening, I've heard that rumor bumping around the internet enough times for me to think that it might be relatively likely that it will happen. I don't know when, but that would be solid. I would love that.
And then my second out there prediction is there will be, sometime next year, a Metroid Prime 4 tease of some kind.
Hopefully more than just a big fiery, not fiery, a big 4 in space.
I agree. I'm talking about like a teaser trailer, not like gameplay maybe, but at least some kind of a teaser that's not a 4 floating in space. And then my final prediction that may or may not be out there, I'm pretty confident about this one, and that is that Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 will be releasing holiday 2020.
Yeah, so this one is the one where I am super on the fence. I've seen enough lists of games coming out in 2020 put out by various gaming websites that make it sound like they're pretty confident that it is going to happen. There's a part of me that thinks it could happen. The fact that they're basically reusing the assets from Breath of the Wild means they don't have to spend near so much time, developing the world engine and the graphical assets and things like that. And they can just focus instead on new environments, story, etc., new abilities, things like that. So It's plausible. Simply the mere fact that we haven't even had a first placeholder release date announcement, much less one that is a secondary one after a delay, it makes me skeptical, because again, Zelda games get delayed all the time, and so the fact that we don't even have a first release date, I would see maybe more 2021 is where I would start being more confident. But at the same time, I can see it.
Yeah, that's true.
I can see it happening. Heck, if they can do that and still have it be at least as good as Breath of the Wild and hopefully better, then bring it on. I will take it the soonest I can get it.
Those are my predictions. Anthony, do you have any predictions other than those 3 that you wanted to throw in there?
No, I kind of was thinking along the same lines, though I think maybe the last thing I'd add in is just not necessarily a prediction, but a hope that the rumors around the Metroid projects are true. So we already know that Metroid Prime 4 exists and that it's going to be probably a long ways out. I would guess the earliest we're going to see a possible release date for Metroid Prime 4 being either 2021 or probably more likely 2022 at the earliest for either of those, and maybe even later, just because dev cycles, especially when they're building a brand new game, it could be a while. The side projects we've been hearing bumping around the internet are either Metroid Prime Trilogy HD, which I think definitely could happen soon, and then a remake possibly of Super Metroid. So I guess my quote-unquote prediction is that maybe we'll see something about that this year. That's
funny. I was going to say the exact same thing. So we're on the same wavelengths here.
Mm-hmm. Basically, I have all the same thoughts as far as the predictions go. I'm kind of hopeful that we will hear something about this other Metroid project. I am a little bit nervous at the idea of them remaking Super Metroid, though, because I have to say, that game is one of the few games I can think of that is an example of almost flawless design, and I just wonder if they're going to be able to transfer all of that to a remake. I don't know, but still, I'm very intrigued to see if they can.
For sure. Oh, I'll be there. Mm-hmm. Super Metroid is my favorite entry in the Metroid series, just like Anthony said. Mm-hmm. Masterpiece. And I don't know, if they could do as good a job as they did with Samus Returns, it'll be awesome. As long as they keep that exploration, free exploration, no hand-holding, just dump you in the world and let you figure it out on your own. That's just super awesome. And
Oh.
until next time.
Hold on.
Wait. Hold on.
Hold
the
on.
buckets. Anthony has something else to say.
I forgot a big one. Because I guess we've kind of
boy.
been focusing on Nintendo, but I do have to throw this one out there because I'm buying this game. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Final Fantasy VII is a classic, and to see it looking this beautiful, let's just say that's also definitely one I'm picking up day one. Okay, that's all I needed to say. I just couldn't let this video. I couldn't let this video end without saying that is absolutely one of the big ones to look forward to. So.
Anthony's gonna let me borrow his PlayStation 4. He'll let me play it first. Then hand it back.
First? You think so, huh?
All right. Well, you heard it here first. I'm getting the PlayStation 4 from Anthony, and I'm gonna play it first. All right. And until next time.
Keep it nerdy.